You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. It is a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man. And if you're just getting with us on 1090, radio listeners throughout Southern California, if you're just jumping in now to our YouTube chat, we've had a great week on YouTube. So keep it coming. Get involved in the conversation. Let's keep things rolling. For those of you that are going to catch up to us tonight on television, look, I got it. Game 5. Dodgers versus Giants, winner take all, loser go home. That's a very exciting ball game tonight. I know a lot of people will be watching that. And simultaneously, Thursday night football is happening tonight between the Buccaneers and the Eagles. And if Tom Brady's playing, I'm watching. So I know that we got a lot of competition on television tonight. But for those of you that are watching on TV, like last night, hey, were you guys surprised? We run into an old friend of the show last night, a guy by the name of Josh Danson. Many of you who've been with us a long time will remember him as Sobe Josh, right? He used to be our Sobe sales guy, all natural. So we run into Josh last night, and Josh comes to the table and says, guys, I just saw the show on TV. How long has that been going on? And the three of us are like, we're not really sure. How long have we been on TV? We don't really know. And Josh was like, oh my God, tell me it hasn't been a few years and I'm just catching up to it. We're like, no, dude, it just happened. It's like within the last 6 months. So that's what we're getting all the time, guys, is people who are saying, hey, I was going by and I saw you on TV. And what Josh said was he was watching the baseball playoffs on TBS, which when he turned on his cable was channel 2. And then, of course, we're on channel 4. So that's how he ran into us. So again, if you're going to get us on radio right now, happy to have you. YouTubers jump into the conversation, and TV viewers tonight up against a lot of competition. We told Josh, even if you can't watch, just set your DVR. And then for those of you that are watching on TV, if you want the full experience of the show, go to youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew. There you go. All right. Guys, I'd like to start today with the latest in the Raiders situation. Anybody here down to start there?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to start with this. Yesterday, I saw Mike Mayock, the general manager of the Raiders, say on national television at a press conference that Rich Bisaccia, who is the new interim head coach of the Raiders, is, and I quote, the greatest leader I've ever been around. Excuse me, Mr. Mayock, who, by the way, Mike Mayock's one of those guys who thinks he's a real tough guy and kind of has that snarl, like he's going to try and physically intimidate everybody around him. You know, and I've worked with Mike Mayock on Westwood One. I mean, I've worked with him a few different times. Nice enough guy, but man, does he just come off as like super arrogant to you guys?
The only time I've really had any exposure to him is when Antonio Brown cursed him out. That is so. When you say that he thinks he's tough, I find it to be hilarious because the only time he had an opportunity to actually be tough, it didn't go well for him.
But he gives me the vibe of a know-it-all. Like he knows everything before you tell him anything, kind of guy.
I get that sometimes.
Yeah, he is. That's a good description. So he goes on at this press conference yesterday, and he says, Rich Bisaccia is the greatest leader I've ever been around in my entire life. And let me tell you something. I know Rich Bisaccia. Rich Bisaccia is a guy who's been a 20-year NFL special teams coordinator. Pretty quiet guy, actually. Well-liked, and I've known him for a long time. I don't know him as being the greatest leader of all time. I don't know him as being a terrible leader. But I don't know that let me ask you this then. If he's the greatest leader you've ever been around, was he a better leader than what Jon Gruden was? And if that were the case, why hasn't he found himself as a head coach somewhere by now? And he's had an interview here and there. But talk about an exaggeration. You know, he's the greatest leader I've ever been around. Okay, fine. I think last night, though, that we were all having this conversation at dinner, which was, don't you sense that the NFL, particularly Roger Goodell, didn't like Jon Gruden, knew that Jon Gruden was a thorn in the side of the league when he was not even a coach, when he was a broadcaster for ESPN. And when the opportunity came to pounce on Jon Gruden, the NFL league office took that shot. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Gruden didn't say what he said. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad thing to say. Obviously, we all agree on that, okay? But don't you just feel like Gruden was outed, but he was ousted by the league?
Is it
What do you guys
confirmed
think?
that it was the league though? Like, do we know who leaked this?
No.
I don't
So
think you
we
ever
don't-
will, by the way.
right.
Right,
So
I mean,
what do you mean? Like
that's
the league outed him?
what I mean is that this lawsuit, this investigation, which was all about the Washington football team, it was all about what was going on inside of that franchise,
Right.
sexual harassment and other issues that they had inside of that franchise. So why is it that the only guy who's been blasted in all of this is a guy who worked for ESPN at the time? Not somebody inside the Washington football team's offices.
Yeah.
Not somebody who was involved in the scandal at the Washington football team. The only guy who has lost his career and has lost his future is Jon Gruden. In my opinion, somebody in the NFL had it out for Gruden, had it out for the Raiders, if you will, and they leaked this to the press, which is why, by the way, I love that the NFLPA is saying, we want it all. We want to see publicly all 650,000 emails. If Jon Gruden said that, and Bruce Allen working for the football team back then, if he received those emails, what was he saying? And what did other people in a scandal-filled operation, what were they saying? And I would like to know, if you've got all these emails, I'd like to read through Daniel Snyder's emails, because he doesn't seem like a very good guy. How many years did Daniel Snyder say, I'm not changing the name of the Redskins? I'm rich, I'm powerful, and you're not forcing me to do anything I don't want to do, until he obviously was forced into doing it. I'm with the NFLPA. Release all of it. Let's see. Let's read.
So ironically, the funny thing being, now it comes out kind of who was CC'd on those emails as well, by the way. And so the Bucks, who took Jon Gruden out of their Ring of Honor, were CC'd on some of those emails, people in the Bucks front office. So again, this idea, because this sounds like a chain email, and there are people just throwing their 2 cents in, because we have a couple of those here, not
Like
that,
a
but more
WhatsApp
business.
message.
Huh?
It's like a WhatsApp group message via email.
Yeah. So it's just people just throwing their 2 cents in on these emails. So I there are more people. There are more people like Jon Gruden on that.
You
email
say,
chain.
Scott, I think, like, you say it's NFL. I feel like it's a very specific person that decided to leak this on Gruden, because we don't have any replies leaked. We don't have like specific messages from anybody else leaked.
Right.
The only reason we found out about Schefter was because the LA Times went to court and got filings, and a bunch of that stuff was redacted. So like they couldn't even confirm the leaked emails because all that stuff was redacted in the court filings. So when you say the NFL, I get it, but I also think there is one specific person that had something against Gruden that's like, I got these emails
and gave it to
and I'm going to give it to somebody. I'm going to give it to the New York Times.
So my assumption is, and again, I'm just kind of putting 2 and 2 together here.
And the reason I say that is because this wasn't just one exchange with Bruce Allen. This was a lot of emails over a 7-8 year span, and that we haven't seen any other response to those emails. Like I feel like this was a specific hit on Jon Gruden. Specific,
Correct.
right? But so like
Right.
when you say I guess my question to you is, like, you keep saying the NFL, that's a blanket statement. That's a large
Right.
corporation. So who is
You're
it?
right.
Yeah.
In my opinion, my thought is, it's the commissioner himself.
Oh, that would be.
I'm not
juicy as
saying-
hell. Woo,
that
that'd
would
be
I'm not
juicy as
saying
hell.
I'm not saying the commissioner like physically
Correct.
handed off the emails to the
Like knocked
the
on the New
reporter.
York Times and was like, "Yo, bro, here you go. You're gonna want this."
I'm saying that the commissioner says to whoever is his person,
Mm-hmm.
we got him.
Right.
Now we got him. Now, the thing about this whole investigation is, and it's really, I thought Mark Davis's comments were super interesting, because really the NFL has had this information for many months already.
Yes.
So here's the other part of it. This is why, to me, it's a hit on Gruden, because if they've had this information for months, what made them somehow now
Now-
decide this is the time to get Gruden. We got him now. If you look at Mark Davis's comment, let me put this up on the screen for everybody. The ESPN got to Mark Davis. They asked him, hey, what do you want to say about the situation? And here's what Mark Davis said about Jon Gruden. Quote, I have no comment. Ask the NFL. They have all the answers.
It's a perfect answer. It's a perfect answer. Perfect. Because he knows. Because I guarantee he's not happy about what happened. He lost a coach. His team's probably in disarray at this point. The special team coach is now the head guy. So he's probably pissed at the NFL. Like, y'all couldn't have held this back? Because the Raiders
or why is it only my guy?
Why is it
only my coach?
How come we're not cleaning house in the NFL? If we're going to do this, then let's do it. Because that's what David Carr said. That's what the quarterback said.
Derek, you got it.
Do it.
Yeah, why will you refuse to call him by his name? It's not like his brother had some great career that he's so overwhelming.
Like
who? David Carr? What y'all got to do with David Carr?
Nothing, but you just keep calling Derek David.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ain't that who it is?
No, Derek Carr is the Raiders quarterback. David Carr is an NFL Network analyst now.
Are you sure?
Just say D Carr.
In fact,
you know what?
Let me listen. You know what's amazing about Derek Carr, and I thought this was interesting about what the Raiders did yesterday. Look, obviously everybody wants to ask Derek Carr what he thinks about all this, but if you know Derek Carr, here's one thing you know about him: he's like hyper Christian.
Jesus.
Like he's like super religious guy. So when they asked him yesterday about Gruden, you know how everybody else is like, what a terrible thing to say, and what a racist he must really be. And now, these words, racist, homophobe, misogynist, these are labels that middle-aged white guys do not want to have anywhere near them, right? But here's Derek Carr, who yesterday spoke to the media, and he's so Christian, and he's got such a forgiving heart. Let me play for you. This is a little extended. This is a minute and change. Here's what Derek Carr said yesterday about Gruden. You've not heard anybody defend Gruden, but he isn't exactly separating himself from Gruden. Take a listen to this. This is interesting.
I hate, you hate the sin, like for me, you hate for anybody. No one's perfect. If we just started opening up everybody's private emails and texts, people would start sweating a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully not too many, but maybe that's what they should do for all coaches and GMs and owners from now on is open up. You got to open up everything, see what happens. But you hate the action. You hate it. You're not supposed to like it, but you love the person, and I love the person. I've grown to love him so much. We spent so much time together. We've been through so many battles. We've been through so many things together. He's always had my back. He's always been there for me. And I love his family. I love his wife. I love his kids. And I think that's why it's hard, because he's not around. It's over. He's not going to be around. And that's the hard part, that for me as a human being is the hardest part. As a football player, like I said, I got a job to do, regardless of what's going on. It was different with him not out there, but long story short, man, you feel for everybody involved. But I will always be someone, no matter who does what, I'm going to love you, and if that's wrong, then I'm okay being wrong. I'm going to try and build people up no matter what. That doesn't make what they did right, but I'm always going to be there to try and be there on the next step on the other side to try and lift them back up and love them up again.
I thought Derek Carr's comments were really awesome because while everybody else in the world is now trying to separate themselves from Jon Gruden, Derek Carr is like, I love that guy. And I was surprised, because I didn't really think that those two guys would ever really get on, but I love him. I love his family. I know that the things that he said were hurtful and they were wrong. It's a sin. I got it. But hey, open up every owner's email. Open up every head coach's email. Let's see what all these guys say.
Now,
and then we'll figure it out from there. But I mean, of these 650,000 emails, and the NFLPA is now pushing on the NFL to let us all see them. What else is being said by who? And who else could have their nuts crushed as a result? Because thus far, an investigation about the Washington football team has netted one cancellation, and that is of the Raiders coach. That's it. And they've had these emails for a long time. Somebody had it out for Gruden. Doesn't make what Gruden said right. Doesn't excuse it. Just saying that somebody had it out for him. Somebody leaked it intentionally. Somebody was trying to get Gruden canceled, and it worked.
Look, man, hard times will tell you who really got your back. That's really what this boils down to. I like what he said too, but hard times will tell you who really got your back. Mike Tirico didn't say that. Tony Dungy ain't saying that. All these public people, when the initial thing came out, saying, "Oh, I know John. Hey, I've never seen anything exhibited like this, which is racism." All these people who said that about him after the first comment, then the other comments came out, and now they all jumped off ship. So, shout out to Carr for having his back to the end. Good for him, and I appreciate and I respect that. Whether people like that or not, that's tough on you. Maybe you should have somebody's back like that every once in a while, and you'll have more friends.
Yeah, but that's what I didn't understand about, Dungy and Tarico, who were getting slammed on Sunday for even defending him after the Friday emails were leaked. Is like, just because you read these emails doesn't mean that your interaction with the person changed at all. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So that's what I said the other day is at one point is like, I understand that this is the what the public saw, this is what the email said, and they're terrible things that he said. But it's like nobody knew that guy, or else no one said anything about it. It was just a giant secret. Like, honestly, like, this is what's so not confusing. This is just like the part that I've been torn on is like, okay, well, the dude's been in the public limelight for decades. He's been on television. He's been a head coach for 4 years in Oakland, Las Vegas, and no one knew about it. Like, no one's
Nobody
come
knew.
out and said, nobody except Keyshawn called him a fraud. Keyshawn didn't call him a racist. Keyshawn
From a
didn't call
coaching
him
perspective, too.
right.
Keyshawn didn't like him from a coaching perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
one
You're
single
right.
person has come out and been like, you know what? I knew it. I knew he was racist.
Right.
I knew he was homophobic. I knew he felt these way about these people. Like, not one
Okay,
single person.
Let me ask you guys a question. If Jon Gruden's heterosexual says to another heterosexual friend of his, who are both football guys, and says something in a private email, and he uses the F word, does that mean he's a homophobe because he uses that language?
Again,
I mean, isn't a homophobe somebody who hates gay people?
I'm
You
not.
know?
I'm not the person to be answering this question. What I will say is this. What I will say is this. When you get into a person's conversation and you don't know the people, you are asking for trouble.
Well,
Because
right,
again, what I say to my friends in private conversations and text messages who I talk to, that's my business.
Yeah,
You
but
may
it's-
deem that outside of the bubble of our conversation as being racist or sexist or homophobic
right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that to you. I'm not
Yeah.
homophobic, but I can say something to my friend as a joke and just, and you not get the joke.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, are you a racist if you say to somebody, if you make a comment about the size of somebody's lips? Does that make you a racist, or does that make you, hey, you said something distasteful
Right.
about, you know what I mean? If you use the F word, okay, which back when Jon Gruden was a kid, everybody was using that word, and now it's distasteful. Are you a homophobe? If you send a friend of yours, or if you go back and forth with a topless woman, a picture of a topless woman, are you a misogynist? I want to get the rules straight.
There are no
So,
rules.
I know.
That's why I asked the other day. I was like, at what point? And I don't know if we're gonna play it or not, but the Raiders tight end Darren Waller said the same thing. Like at what point do you kind of just like, what are we dealing with? Like, what are we
Here, play it.
firing him for almost?
Why don't you play what Waller had to say yesterday? Go ahead and play it.
I mean, it's disappointing, but I'm somebody that comes from the space of I want to offer somebody grace and allow them to, learn from what they may have done. And that's, that's what I'm trying to do right now for Coach, because I know a lot of people may want to cancel him, but, and I understand that what he said was, inexcusable. But at the same time, like, where do we offer grace for him to learn and grow, and then be able to be in the circle that he was with those people that he was emailing with, and be able to say, that's not right, and be able to say from his experience, like, I had to learn, and so now I can help these people. So those are some of the things that are going through my mind.
You know what? You know what the Raiders did brilliantly yesterday? Having Derek Carr, who's very, very Christian, who's got love in his heart for everybody. That was the right guy to parade out there. And he's the star of the team. And Waller's the star of the team, but isn't he a guy who's been living in recovery because he's had his own set of
Like, I think he
problems
was
in his
addicted
life?
to like Oxy.
Yeah, so they picked the right guys. One's a Christian and one's in recovery, and both want to, both have an interesting perspective on all of this. So hey, listen, we'll talk more about it coming up. Stick around. When I say we'll talk more about that, we got a lot of other things we want to get to today. Thursday night football, obviously monster baseball game tonight between the Dodgers and the Giants. We'll get to both of those stories right around the corner. Quick reminder for everybody. My guys at Corky's Pest Control, 1-800-901-1102. I have a friend of mine around the corner here in Solana Beach told me, hey, I just did a deal with Corky. Did a deal. I mean, he bought the services. Corky's tenting his house for termite fumigation. Then a listener yesterday sent me a picture. He was out taking a walk, listening on podcast, and he took a picture of a house that was tented by Corky's. And then I got my buddy down in La Jolla who called Cork and just got an estimate, and he's about to have his house tented with Corky's. If you have a termite problem, nobody beats Corky's 4-year guarantee. Call around, shop around, do whatever you want. But when you have termites, you call the expert. That's Corky's Pest Control. Call 1-800-901-1102.
Corky's, yeah.
Or just Google that one word, Corky's. Hey, we got a monster show. Adrian Gonzalez is going to be here. Comedian Jason Lawhead's going to be here. Stick around, everybody. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Welcome back. Please join us in welcoming the Race and Sports Radio Show back home to 1090. Join host Felix Taverna every Saturday at 9 a.m. for the very best horse racing coverage in all of Southern California. The all-new and mightier 1090.
SDCCU is an engaged community partner. Each year, SDCCU is proud to support many nonprofit organizations throughout Southern California. Our partnerships allow us to help shape the financial lives of many through volunteerism, financial support, and creating public awareness. The result is a big impact on the communities we serve. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better. Federally insured by NCUA. Find out more at sdccu.com.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Join the Walk for Alls at Balboa Park on October 16th. Every dollar raised stays local to help San Diegans with dementia. Register at alzsd.org/walk. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Save the Storks. Help us reach the hearts of women with compassion, education, and holistic care.
Up to 30% of COVID-19 patients become long haulers with persistent symptoms months after the infection.
What I've been finding with my patients is that it's taking up to 3 to 6 months for them to recover their endurance, exercise capacity, and get them back to work or to their usual activities of daily living.
What I wasn't able to do was the basic needs, like brush your teeth, take a shower because of the shortness of breath, the tightness in my chest.
The symptoms that concern me the most, the shortness of breath. So restrictive. You know, you go through and you just take for granted that, you're gonna breathe. And when that gets taken away, it's a scary thought. Unfortunately, I'm 6 months out now from my diagnosis and I'm still suffering from several of the symptoms.
My experience with the patients I've sent to La Mesa Rehab has been extremely positive. The patients come back with good reports, and when I see them in the office, their exercise capacity has improved dramatically.
I'm getting there because of La Mesa Rehab.
Teatro means theater in Spanish, and in Portuguese, and in Tagalog, and in Italian, and in so many languages. We have a lot of communities, a lot of culture here, so that is the reason why teatro is in the name. The mission of Teatro San Diego is to provide arts education to underserved communities, specifically in schools. Our goal is also in tandem with arts education to provide a professional theater company and dance company so that the community can see themselves reflected on stage at the professional level. Places like Subaru have really been so supportive and have helped us come up with projects like the AMI project.
I was so honored to be at an event a few days ago and heard some of the songs from it. These guys rock. This is just an amazing thing that everyone needs to see.
Southern California radio is a special game, a unique game from the sandy beaches of the Baja and all the way to Santa Barbara. My voice sounds pretty cool. The all-new and mightier 1090.
My name is John Alicio, and I'm managing partner of Procopio. Procopio is the largest San Diego-based law firm, and we're proud to be a part of this event, the Salute to Teachers. Without the teachers, none of us would have had the success we've had. You know, our firm consists of about 200 professionals and 200 attorneys, so a total of 400 mostly San Diego educated professionals. Without you, we'd not be winning the cases we win as we go toe-to-toe with the best attorneys in the world. So thank you on behalf of Procopio for what you do and how you do it. And a special personal thanks to my alma mater, Valhalla High School, and the teachers at that school. Without you, I would not have had the personal success I have had. So from Procopio, thank you for what you do and how you do it. Salute.
It was a night to remember as we honored the best teachers in San Diego. There was dancing. There was music. There were teachers. There was also this bit of genius.
This honor is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Watch Cox presents Salute to Teachers only on Your View.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
University of San Diego football got the win against Butler last weekend behind a strong second half. The Toreros outscored the Bulldogs 38-7 in the second half to get their second consecutive win. Final score 52-21. The defense showed out, scoring 2 touchdowns, both a pick six, one from cornerback Michael Hawkins and one from cornerback Zamir Wallace. Quarterback Mason Randall had 257 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns, and no interceptions in the win. In the run game, running back Riley Hansen got it done. He had 85 total yards and had his first career touchdown. USD sits at 2-4 on the season. They'll look to continue building upon their recent momentum when they return home this weekend to take on Drake. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams-Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat.
He's at the 40. Is he going to go?
Stockos holds it in. What a catch. Return left sidelines off to the races. He flipped the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Catch all the action as Helix takes on Granite Hills October 29th at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
Stadium in San Diego. It has been a sellout the last few days. Loyal SC ready to kick off this season. Stadium in San Diego. Professional soccer has finally arrived.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
It is a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man. Glad to have everybody along, radio listeners on 1090 in your car right now. Happy to have you guys here. YouTube viewers and those of you that are in the YouTube chat, you guys are the heart and soul of what we do. I know that we don't all agree on everything. I know we go back and forth on the YouTube chat, but we appreciate you guys being here and spreading the word. And for those of you that catch up to us on television tonight as part of the Cox Your View Network, you can always get the full 3 hours of the show by going to youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew, or if you use the YouTube app, just search Kaplan and Crew. You get the full 3-hour experience. Hey, we started today, and I'll finish up some thoughts here on the Gruden Raiders situation. But we started today talking about our experience last night at 7 Mile Casino and all of us having dinner at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Hey, Grande, can you put up the picture that we took last night? Because I gave Browner my phone, and you know that Browner advertises himself as 6'7". He's probably more like 6'3.5", if you want to know the truth. Is that right, Browner?
You keep making up these lies, man. Again, everybody who sees me goes, "Man, you're really tall. I didn't know you were that tall." So stop
Well,
it.
you make up a lot. You make up a lot of lies too. You make up a lot of lies.
Feeling a lie. Feeling a lie I told.
Okay, like, hey, we welcoming you back to the bandwagon, LA Cap. We welcoming you back. You ain't welcoming me
That ain't no
back.
lie.
Ain't no coming back. I made my declaration. Ain't no coming back, man.
That ain't no lie. Listen, me welcoming you back.
Yeah.
Me welcoming you back. That ain't no lie. That's me opening the door.
I gotta lie.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
Lie.
That's
No,
a
no,
lie.
no, no.
See, you're a
Again,
liar, dude.
again, correction. That ain't a lie. That ain't a lie. That is yet to not be proven.
Do you have
What?
do you have the hot sauce, by the way, today?
No.
Do you have the bomb hot sauce? Because, Jason Lawhead is going to be here today, and he is your on-air partner Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights, Browner and Lawhead. You guys did have a wager. Your Bears against his Browns. His Browns won. You're supposed to take the bomb hot sauce on the air. Now, are you not going to fulfill your wager? Are you not going to pay off your bet? Is that the kind of guy you are?
Of course I'm going to pay off my bet. I'm not prepared to do that today. You can't
You
just
didn't
put
have
that
ice
in
cream
your. You can't just put that
you
in
didn't
your
have
mouth.
ice cream.
You know what's funny? I saw.
Hmm.
I was in the Arco yesterday buying gas. I go in there. You know the pocket chip people. They got a whole stand in the gas station. I almost kicked it over.
Yeah, but those aren't as bad as the challenge chip though. Like those are like
Oh.
flavored chips. Just
No, they had like the one in a coffin.
Oh yeah, that's the new one. That's the new one.
Yeah, they had that.
You should
I
have
was
got
like, y'all shouldn't be selling this. It should be illegal. This
Yeah,
is
it should
black
be illegal.
market.
Yeah, should be illegal. You're right. So last night we're at 7 Mile Casino. We were testing out the menu at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Now take a look at this picture here. Browner got a mug, right? Look at that face. Look at that face Browner's making. Now look at the screen. On the table. Browner's got his cell phone because God forbid he could not watch a WNBA playoff game last night. Are you for real, dude? Like,
Dude,
I-
this guy,
like,
we're at
like if
we're
last-
at dinner. We're at dinner,
Yeah.
and he's acting like he's watching the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, he's not paying
Right.
attention to us at all. He's watching a WNBA game.
Right, with earbuds in. Dude, if I said to you tonight, let's go have dinner, and you said, okay, let's go, and you had on the Giants versus the Dodgers at dinner, I'd be like, I understand that. I get that. Because just the other night, this is on Tuesday night, I was at Mesa College. My daughter was playing soccer. I was watching the soccer game in front of me, but I had the baseball game on my phone. Browner's watching a WNBA game last night, and I mean into it, dude. Like, and
Yeah,
was not
at
listening to
one
a
point-
word we were saying.
At one point, he yelled, "Oh, you got to shoot that!" It's like, bro, it's relax. The regular season is it the regular season? The regular season. Is it-
Correction. Normally I would fly off the handle at this point because y'all level of disrespect is just so crazy. I'm gonna be calm, okay? Because the ladies need to know. I support y'all in y'all efforts to hoop. Great game last night. It was a finals game too. Phoenix against Chicago. If you must know the details.
Now, if Chicago wasn't playing, would you have been watching?
Yes, but not as intently.
Okay, got it. So go back to the picture now, Alex. So here we are. We're at 7 Mile Casino last night. There's Grande shooting you a peace sign. There's Browner with his face. Look at that face. And there's his phone propped up so he can watch a WNBA finals game. There's Fat Tony because FT decided, you know what I need? I need a support group tonight. My son just left for the U.S. Army. I need to be with friends.
That's all
Fat-
we were to him last night, by the way.
We were a support group, right?
That's it. That's all
Right?
we were to him.
We were a male support group last night for FT, and
He
I
was
felt
telling
like
you about his son, even if you didn't ask. She's like, "Hey man, how's it going? Hey, good to see you. Hey, listen, look, my son went to the army tonight."
yeah, no, and I think that, for me and Fat Tony, we've been friends for 20 years, and our kids grew up. We watched both of our kids grow up. So for him, I think it's like hey man, you and me together, I need you tonight, and we were happy to be there for him. Now, here's what I want to point out. If you look over Fat Tony, or if you look at Alex's peace sign, there's a gentleman sitting behind him, big giant fro. That's my man, Brad Samuel. Brad has been my longtime agent, really close friend, and somebody who's been a radio executive at one point in his career for a really long time in San Diego and in Los Angeles. And then in between Fat Tony and me, who's that guy? Who's the guy sitting at the table right there? Who that? I'll tell you who that is. That's our man, Ben Higgins from Ben and Woods, which used to be the morning show at 1090. When 1090 went off the air, they went to the Fan, and they've been the morning show over there. And Ben, we had a great time with Ben last night. Wasn't he fun? It was fun to hang out with him too, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, it's always
Lovely,
good
man.
to catch up with people, man. Again,
It
at
really
one point,
was.
we all worked in the same building.
Right. It was
We
really
were
nice
like-
to catch up with Ben and hang out with him a little bit and have dinner. We put our tables essentially together, and we all sat down, hung out. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was good food. It was good to see Ben. Haven't seen him in a while. Shout out.
Yeah, and it was funny because he was saying that he was trying to be careful with what he was eating because he had to go back to Channel 10 to do the sports on the 11 o'clock news. And I'm like, well, don't you have like a wardrobe there or something, dude? And he was explaining how, I don't know, they had a water leak in the building. I mean, it's an old school TV station. It's completely outdated. And there was a water leak, so the I don't know if it's the dressing rooms aren't available, and he's got to walk in and schlep all of his stuff. And so he was just being really careful that he didn't get any of that Kung Pao chicken on his shirt
Like you.
before he went and did the sports.
Like you.
Oh, I had it all over me.
At
Oh
one
my
point
God.
at one point at the end of the night, dude, you're dipping your cloth towel into your water cup and like cleaning your entire shirt.
Oh, dude, I had like stuff over here on my stomach. I had stuff over here on my sleeve. I was just making a mess of myself. And when I wasn't making a mess of myself, I was throwing salad on Browner. I actually was trying to cut some
Oh, my
salad, and
God.
my whole fork like slipped off the plate, and all the salad. I showered Browner in salad last
That's
night.
the closest he's ever got to lettuce in the last 20 years.
Easy. My arm started twitching.
Yeah. Like
I had to
poison
get out.
ivy.
I almost
dude.
had
Like
to get out of
poison
there.
ivy. He's like, what is this? Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really thought it was funny though because we could have taken the selfie. I could have taken it and gotten it going the opposite direction, but I thought it was so funny that Ben was sitting right next to us, and he knew we were taking a selfie, and he wasn't like, "Hey guys, would you guys do me a favor? We're all having a nice time tonight. Would you guys do me a favor and like not post this? Because when people see this, some people at my place might not be so happy that I was chilling with you guys last
We're
night.
humans, man. Who cares?
I know we're just people. We're just people. Get over it.
Who cares
Get
where we
over it.
work? Whatever.
I know, dude.
He
But,
made me
some
laugh.
people hold
Though.
grudges.
He made me laugh, dude. I was like, where you going? You going to work? He's like, I'm always going to work. I was like, that's true. Your schedule sucks, dude.
You know what he said to me? He goes, dude, how's the ESPN gig up in LA? And I said, it's going pretty good. And he goes, how nice must it be to have everything to talk about? And I was like, yeah, dude, it's great because when we go in, it's kind of easy. It's like, okay, we're gonna do some Lakers, we're gonna do some Dodgers, we're gonna do some Rams, we're gonna do some USC. We may get on a little UCLA. I mean, we're gonna talk about all these stories. And Ben's like, yeah, well, all we talk about is Padres. Now we're talking about Padre offseason and minor leagues and manager. He's like, that's the only thing we have to talk about. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I would be in a lot of trouble if I had to talk about Padres minor leagues today. I'd
So-
probably be unemployed.
Shout out to our man, Ben Higgins. It was great to see you last night. It was nice to have dinner sitting at the next table. Shout out to our man, Brad Samuel, because he put on quite an event last night. And shout out to Sammy from Sammy's and Rod, who owns the 7 Mile Casino. It was a really great time. And thanks to everybody for having us last night. So, hey, just final thoughts here on the Gruden, Raiders, NFL. I'm going to call it a scandal because to me, I think there's a much bigger story at play here. Again, remember, the investigation was about the Washington football team and all of the disaster that was going on inside of their front office. And it's not Daniel Snyder who got outed. Okay. The only guy who got canceled in this entire deal didn't work in the NFL at the time, didn't work for the Washington football team, wasn't employed by the Raiders at the time. The only guy who got outed in this whole thing, the only guy who got canceled in this whole thing was Gruden for some very unsavory things that were said in emails, to be sure. And he's the only guy, even though he had nothing to do with the Washington football team investigation, which is why I support the NFLPA in saying release all 650,000 emails and let's see who else says what and who else might be canceled in all of this. And why is the NFL seemingly supporting and defending and essentially hiding Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington football team, when it was his team that was under this investigation? But you know what's interesting? Not Derek Carr, not Waller, their tight end. It's other guys who are going to be asked about it. For example, Sean McVay, the Rams coach. You know, Sean McVay, he worked for a long time with Jon Gruden. Jon Gruden initiated Sean McVay into the NFL, gave him his shot. So, of course, reporters are going to say to Sean McVay, Coach, what do you think about the Gruden situation? And McVay loves to try and avoid talking about things he don't want to talk about. Go ahead, Alex. Let's play a little bit of McVay's press conference from yesterday.
Thoughts and prayers are with all of those people that are, and really just want to leave it at that. And we're focused on the Giants and really excited about preparing to try to attack an opportunity to get our 5th win. Guys have a good look in their eyes, just had a good walkthrough, and we know it's going to be a great challenge, especially with them returning a handful of really good players that we expect to see this week.
Sean, what was your reaction to the context of Jon Gruden?
Yeah, I'm just sad about it. You know, it's unfortunate, and, you know, just want to really leave it at that.
Yeah, he don't want any part of this.
Hey, man, thoughts and prayers have never been worthless more than that point right there.
Yeah, Coach
Thoughts
McVay
and
don't want
prayers.
any. He don't want anything to do with it. He's like, hey, look, guys, I don't want to talk about it. I'm busy. I'm putting product in my hair. Okay, I just got done with a walkthrough. I don't want any part of this
Thoughts and
Jon
prayers.
Gruden thing. You know, but it's like, but Coach, you and Gruden go so far back, and there's family here, and this is a guy you know really well. So of course we're going to come ask you about it. And he's preparing for the Giants, and he don't want any part of it. But you know who did want a part of it? That's Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley, the coach of the Chargers, is unpredictable. You know, you don't know if he's going for it on 4th down. You don't know if he's faking a punt on 4th down, if he's going to try an onside kick. He's 5 games into his NFL coaching career, and he's unpredictable. So when asked about the situation, and there's no connection between Staley and Gruden.
Connection with Staley and McVay.
But there is a connection with Staley and McVay, certainly. But here's Brandon Staley. He jumped right in on it.
You know, for someone like me, you know, it's just incumbent upon you to set the example every single day so that people that were, you know, talked about in those emails, that they don't need to feel that way. They shouldn't feel that way. And it's, you know, hopefully, you know, all of us can learn from this, that it's about bringing people together for me, so that people can become, you know, the people that they dream about. And I think that, you know, for me, you know, leading this football team and being someone, hopefully we can, you know, be a light for those people in those emails, that not everybody's like that there's far more people that will love you than the opposite. And hopefully this will be a chance for everybody to come together instead of go apart.
There is
This thing's
something
gotten out of control.
There is something missing though about what are you laughing about?
I'm just laughing because he's talking about the people in the emails. You know who's in the emails? Roger Goodell. Okay?
No,
You know-
but because I think that's what I was gonna say. We're missing a part of the story. Like the fact that Carl Nassib is an openly gay football player, the only one in the NFL, is on this team yesterday taking a personal day. Like this is affecting people on the Raiders. Like, you know, like so but Derek Carr is getting praised for the thing I put out, but he also said earlier, and then he had to backtrack. He's like, hey, it's Wednesday. If you're still in your feelings, you got to get over it. And they're like, well, your teammate is in his feelings because he's a gay man, and your coach was talking about his I guess his people that way, and he is taking it personally, taking a day
listen.
off.
Hey,
Look,
man,
man.
look.
Like I'm not going to defend Jon Gruden for what he said.
Hey,
and I
ain't
feel like
nobody
it's
defending
coming off
nobody.
that way.
This man is a grown man, okay, who been gay for a long time. You need a day off now? Huh? For what? I think he took that day off so they didn't ask him no questions about it. But here's the news flash to you, brother. When you show up, they're going to ask you questions. So now the setting being something like Carr had or Waller had, Now you're going to be at a locker, and there's going to be 40 cameras and 40 microphones around you.
Well, I mean, DeMaurice Smith was, this is when this first came out. He's like, well, this just goes to prove yet again how black men in position of power are perceived and talked about behind their backs, et cetera, et cetera. But he knew about it. He wasn't surprised by it, But Carl Nassib, same situation. He knows people still use words like that.
Right.
Look, listen, just because you say that word, I'm not 100% convinced that makes you a homophobe. It just means that you use slang terminology that you think is insulting to somebody,
Yeah,
and
but I'm also not gonna do what Browner just did and diminish someone's feelings. Like, how do you know how he feels, dude? Like,
Bro, you need a
can't
day
just.
off.
Yes, he
Stop
needs a
it.
day off. Like, what's the
He's
big
like,
deal? Like,
this is the same guy, Alex. This
You're-
is the same guy. He's totally inconsistent. This is the same guy who says they shouldn't do press conferences anymore,
right?
because
It's okay for Naomi Osaka not to show up to a whole tournament because she's in her feelings. But as soon as Carl Nassib does it, it's a problem. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You're not in this situation. How can you come out and be like, yeah, bro, you've been gay for a long time. You deal with it. Like, come on, dude. Have a little bit of compassion for somebody going through something, man. Like,
Okay,
Jesus.
listen. The man, that Jon Gruden said what he said. And Carl Nassib's name ain't nowhere in them emails. He didn't directly say this about Carl Nassib. And Carl Nassib's relationship with Jon Gruden, I guarantee you Jon Gruden don't talk like that to Carl Nassib. So
Yeah,
the
he
fact
doesn't.
that
You
he's
weren't
now,
okay. I'm gonna take it somewhere else, but I probably shouldn't. Like, you weren't in Minnesota when George Floyd got killed, but you felt a certain way about it. So you can't have feelings because you're not directly involved.
well, those are two completely things. You can't conflate the two of those things together.
You're a black man who
Right.
felt like a certain emotion when a black man was killed by police officers on the street, and Carl Nassib
Like,
is a gay man.
when it happens over and over, you feel certain things because someone like you that has similar experiences to you is going through something. Why can't you just have a little compassion? Like, if Carl Nassib says, I need a day off to like reflect on what's happening, why is that such a bad thing? Like,
And
that's my only question.
it's not just the F word that he used in reference to the commissioner. It's what he talked about with Michael Sam, and so look,
He said the commissioner forced Jeff Fisher to draft the F word.
no, he drafted the
The
Q
Q
word,
word.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, the letters, all the letters, whatever. No, the two situations are not the same. And I thank
They
you
are
for
not the
bring
same.
I thank you for bringing that up. I thank you for drawing the correlation. But what I will say is this: on behalf of other black people who get questions like this all the time, they're not the same.
They are not the same.
But emotions are
The
created.
fight that
Right,
gay
they are
people
not
are
the same.
currently enduring is not the same struggle that black people are going through in this country. They're
Okay, but it's
not
still
the
my
same.
point is no, it's not, but it is a struggle. And the whole point of having compassion for people going through a struggle, not the same struggle, is a conversation that's what's being had right now. That's all
George
I'm
Floyd
saying.
got killed. I came to work. Since you're asking that question, that's what you asking me. George Floyd got killed on camera
How many
for the
people
world to see. I
didn't
came
go
to work.
How many people didn't go to work? That's all I'm saying is like, you don't know what Carl Nassib is feeling the same way like
I don't.
Right, but you told him like go to work. Like, that's my only point is like, you don't know what he's going through, so to just like diminish it, I think is unfair.
And let me be a little more clear about this.
Make the final thought, because we got to hustle up. Go ahead.
I'm saying Carl Nassib go to work because Carl Nassib is in a position to speak for people like him. So at no other time is it more important for him to go to work than that day, because now he can shed more light on the subject, speaking from a person who's going through the actual situation.
All right. All right, there you go. All right. Emotional topic. I like it. Good job. All right, hey, listen, Jason Lawhead's coming by. Adrian Gonzalez is going to be here. Barry Barger from BetUS is going to do some NFL picks for us. So we got a lot to get to. But before we do, I want to remind all the guys out there watching on television, listening on radio, watching on YouTube, listening on audio podcasts, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan is the website. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. And here's the phone number, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. The medical professionals at iThrive want you to live a long, healthy life. And to do that for you, we know that testosterone, 30+% of us over 40, our testosterone levels low. And when they're low, we have a lot of other health-related problems. Could be erectile dysfunction, could be depression. There are a lot of other issues that come with low testosterone. So to get you to come in and visit, 50% off for the first 3 months of treatment. And Dr. Damani was very serious. He's like, I want you to tell the price. $289 a month is testosterone treatment at iThrive MD. They're doing it now for $145 a month for the first 3 months. But you must come in the month of October. So make an appointment. 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497, or go to ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this will change your life. Seriously. And if you're thinking $289, you're like, it's a little steep. Well, it's $145 for the first 3 months of treatment. And after those first 3 months, you'll be like, this is worth everything. 858-240-1497. Make an appointment now with iThrive MD and save 50% in your first 3 months of treatment. All right, stick around, everybody. Jason Lawhead, Adrian Gonzalez, all around the corner. Let's do this. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios of Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Our massive signal covers an area where over 24 million people reside. So if you're listening or advertising on another station, we have only one question. Why? The new generation of radio, the all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter-to-soldier and help save more lives.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams-Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. He's at the 40. Is he going to go? Goes, holds it in. What a catch. Return left sidelines, off to the races. He flipped the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Pass out. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Catch all the action as Helix takes on Granite Hills October 29th at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
It was a night to remember as we honored the best teachers in San Diego. There was dancing. There was music. There were teachers. There was also this bit of genius.
This honor is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Watch Cox presents Salute to Teachers only on YourView.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
University of San Diego football got the win against Butler last weekend behind a strong second half. The Toreros outscored the Bulldogs 38-7 in the second half to get their second consecutive win. Final score 52-21. The defense showed out, scoring 2 touchdowns, both a pick six, one from cornerback Michael Hawkins and one from cornerback Zamir Wallace. Quarterback Mason Randall had 257 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns, and no interceptions in the win. In the run game, running back Riley Hansen got it done. He had 85 total yards and had his first career touchdown. USD sits at 2-4 on the season. They'll look to continue building upon their recent momentum when they return home this weekend to take on Drake. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView.
Catch an all-new local show on the mightier 1090. Please join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the Charity Stripe, where you can get 3 out-of-the-box sports minds whose game is knowing yours. Only on a new generation of radio, the mightier 1090 AM, SoCal Sports Talk.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on your health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those afflicted by chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learn more at LaMesaRehab.com.
COVID vaccines are safe, convenient, and free, and they are effective at protecting you against the coronavirus. I'm Dr. Akilah Weber, a pediatric gynecologist and state assembly member, and I got the vaccine to protect my family. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and everyone who receives the vaccine helps us get one step closer to returning to normal. Go get your vaccine today. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a site near you. Do it for yourself, your family, and for our community.
Live soccer is back. Watch Orange County Soccer Club, OC's highest level of professional soccer, live on YourView. Watch Orange County SC take on the San Diego Loyal SC Wednesday, October 20th at 7. Watch world-class players and future stars. Transform your summer with the new family game night and outdoor fun all season long. Live soccer is back. Orange County SC versus the San Diego Loyal SC Wednesday, October 20th at 7 on YourView.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post-9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us in sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Save the Stork is an organization that equips pregnancy resource centers across the nation so that these pregnancy resource centers can reach more women facing unplanned pregnancies and provide them with holistic care, compassionate choices, and just an abundance of resources to support their decision to choose life. Save the Stork has been around for about 10 years. Most people know us by our Stork buses. A Stork bus is a mobile medical unit that's equipped with the state-of-the-art medical equipment as well as very knowledgeable and experienced medical professionals.
The buses enable them to reach areas where maybe there's not a pregnancy care center nearby. We are here to walk this journey with you so that you're not alone and to help you find your heart in all of this. And that means and that you're going to make a choice that is truly going to be something that years from now you're going to be proud of.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on YourView.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.